Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to the Scarborough Archives. It's a place where local history comes alive.
A place filled with century-old newspapers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, school yearbooks from decades past, and even the original account books from a bustling 19th century port.
Wow, that's incredible. So where are these amazing archives located?
Well, all of this is housed in a building that has its own story to tell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Scarborough Archives are located in the old Moorish store, which was once one of the largest general stores in the township.
It's amazing to think that a building that was once vacant and nearly forgotten is now a vibrant hub for preserving Scarborough's past.
The transformation from a neglected structure to a historical treasure trove is a testament to the dedication of the Scarborough Historical Society.
Yeah, they really poured their heart and soul into restoring this piece of history.
Oh yeah, meticulously stripping wallpaper, repainting, and even matching the original colors.
So what's it like inside?
The result is a space that truly transports you back in time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can practically feel the history as you walk through the doors and browse the shelves filled with heritage books, 19th century school textbooks, and municipal files dating back centuries.
It's like stepping into a time capsule.
Exactly.
So what kind of stories does this time capsule hold?
Well, let's start with the Centennial community.
Okay.
It might surprise you to learn that this neighborhood wasn't always its own entity. It was once part of a much larger area called Highland Creek.
Oh.
A vast expanse that stretched from Galloway Road all the way to Port Union Road. Think of it as this massive chunk of land reaching from Highway 401 to the shores of Lake Ontario.
So this area remained largely rural for quite some time.
Yeah, this area remained largely rural until after World War II.
Makes sense.
Yeah, as the population grew, the need for smaller, more organized neighborhoods became apparent. That's when Highland Creek was divided, and the Centennial community as we know it today began to take shape.
This shift from a sprawling rural area to a more defined community is reflected in the establishment of the Centennial Community Association in 1949.
It marked a pivotal moment in the area's development, signifying a transition towards a more structured and localized form of governance.
And speaking of evolving communities, let's turn our attention to Port Union, another area with a fascinating and perhaps surprising past.
Like Centennial, Port Union was also originally part of Highland Creek. But what makes its story particularly intriguing is that most of its buildings were actually located across the town line in Pickering.
Imagine that a community that's considered part of Scarborough today was once largely situated in another township altogether.
It highlights the fluid nature of boundaries and how communities can straddle geographical lines, especially in the early stages of development.
And Port Union also boasts a unique economic history.
Oh, absolutely.
In the mid-1800s, it was a bustling port, thanks to the Scarborough, Markham, and Pickering Wharf Company. Imagine a scene straight out of a history book. Farmers would arrive with their horse-drawn wagons loaded with grain, ready to be shipped across Lake Ontario to Oswego, New York.
This trade route was a lifeline for the community.
Oh, really?
In exchange for their grain, the ships brought back essential goods that were scarce in the region. Things like stoves, metal, and iron. It was a classic barter system that fueled the early economy of Port Union and the surrounding areas.
You can almost hear the clatter of hooves and the creaking of ships as you imagine this lively port in its heyday.
Right.
It's a reminder that even seemingly quiet corners of our city were once bustling centers of activity connected to a wider network of trade and commerce.
And the Scarborough Archives holds tangible evidence of this vibrant past.
Right.
They have some of the original account books from the Wharf Company, providing a glimpse into the daily transactions that shaped the economic landscape of the time.
It's incredible to think that these documents, meticulously kept centuries ago, are now preserved for us to explore. They offer a window into a bygone era, allowing us to connect with the lives and experiences of the people who built the foundations of our community.
And these account books aren't just dry lists of numbers. They really paint a vivid picture of the goods that were traded, the prices they fetched, and the challenges faced by these early entrepreneurs. They really offer a glimpse into the entrepreneurial spirit that drove the development of Port Union and the surrounding areas.
It makes you wonder about the stories behind those transactions. Who were the farmers who brought their grain to the port? What were their lives like? What hopes and dreams did they hold as they loaded their wagons and set off on their journey?
It's a reminder that history is more than just dates and events. It's about people, their stories, and the choices they made that shape the world we live in today.
And those choices often had ripple effects that we can still see today. For example, the eventual decline of the Port Union port after the arrival of the railway had a lasting impact on the region's economy.
Exactly. It's fascinating how a single technological advancement like the railway could so dramatically alter the course of a community's development. Port Union's story is a testament to the ever-changing nature of progress and how communities adapt and transform in the face of new challenges and opportunities.
It's a reminder that the communities we live in today are the product of countless decisions, innovations, and challenges faced by those who came before us. And by delving into their stories, we can gain a deeper understanding of how our own communities came to be.
The Scarborough Archives provides us with a tangible link to that past. It allows us to connect with the individuals who built the foundations of our community, to understand their struggles, their triumphs, and the legacy they left behind.
Thinking about all these interconnected stories, it's almost like peeling back layers of time. We started with the physical structure of the Moore store, then delved into the transformation of a sprawling rural area into distinct communities like Centennial. And now we've uncovered a bustling port that thrived on trade and innovation.
And that's just a small sampling of what the Scarborough Archives has to offer. It's a treasure trove of information waiting to be explored by anyone who's curious about the history of this fascinating region.
It makes you wonder what other stories are waiting to be uncovered, what other connections we can make between the past and the present.
That's the beauty of local history. It's all around us, often hidden in plain sight. And with a little bit of digging, we can unearth these stories and gain a richer understanding of the places we call home.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? Why should they care about the history of Scarborough, or any local history for that matter?
It's not just about nostalgia or preserving the past for its own sake. Understanding local history can give us valuable insights into the present. It helps us understand how our communities came to be, the forces that shaped them, and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
It's about recognizing that we're all part of a larger story, a story that's still being written. And by engaging with local history, we can play an active role in shaping the next chapter.
Take some time to explore the history of your own neighborhood. Visit your local archives, talk to longtime residents, or simply take a walk and observe the buildings and landmarks that whisper tales of the past.
You might be surprised by what you discover. You might uncover a hidden connection to a historical event. Or you might find inspiration in the stories of resilience and innovation that shaped your community.
Ultimately, exploring local history is about connecting with the human stories that make a place unique. It's about understanding the roots that ground us and appreciating the legacy we inherit.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the Scarborough Archives. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through time and that you'll be inspired to embark on your own exploration of local history. It's amazing to think that something as simple as visiting a local archives can spark such a journey of discovery.
Absolutely. And you never know, your exploration might even lead you to uncover a hidden gem of your own, a forgotten story, a unique artifact, or perhaps even a long-lost connection to your own family history.
That's what's so exciting about local history. It's not just about dusty textbooks or grand narratives. It's about the personal connections we make, the stories that resonate with us on an individual level.
And the stories can often surprise us. Take the Scarborough Archives, for instance. Who would have thought that a former general store would hold the keys to uncovering the vibrant history of a bustling port or the evolution of a sprawling rural area into distinct neighborhoods?
It's a reminder that history is all around us, hidden in plain sight. It's woven into the fabric of our communities, waiting to be discovered and shared.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the Scarborough Archives, we encourage you to think about the stories that might be hidden in your own neighborhood. What treasures might be waiting to be unearthed? What connections can you make between the past and the present?
Don't be afraid to ask questions, to dig a little deeper, and to explore the rich tapestry of history that surrounds you. You never know what fascinating discoveries await.
And remember, history isn't just about the past. It's about understanding who we are, where we come from, and the possibilities that lie ahead.
So go out there and explore, connect with your community's past, and let history inspire you to shape a brighter future. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Scarborough Archives. Until next time, keep exploring.